Hi again. It's been a while since I made a video, so I decided to do some more homework and talk about another key player in the plot to incarcerate Reverend Dr. Malachi New York. The topic for this video is none other than Putnam County's own local good old boy, the unillustrious Sheriff Howard Richard Sills. For those of you who have never heard of this person, consider yourself fortunate. Your life is far better off not knowing who he is. But for the sake of education, I'll give you a little info. Let's see. Where do I begin? Harasser, instigator, troublemaker, law abuser, law bender, lawbreaker, liar, shifty, arrogant, racist, conniving, self-deluded, paranoid, egotistical. These are a few words that will come to the mind of any Nuwaubian who remembers all of the evil deeds he committed towards the Nuwaubians leading up to the illegal arrest of Dr. York. Some of you may be saying, you can't just slander somebody like that without a reason why you're calling him all of these things. Well, grab a chair and prop up your feet, because I'm going to tell you a little story about this so-called sworn law-abiding sheriff that you may not know. It's difficult from my perspective to really determine where his troublemaking ways towards the Nuwaubians started. Some say it started during his building code violation campaign. Meanwhile, others attest that it started when he first saw the pyramids on the 404 Shady Dale Road property. Who knows exactly when? Point is, he's made it his business to become the main antagonizer of Nuwaubians. But I digress. Back to the story. There are so many instances of Sheriff Sills harassing Nuwaubians, as well as others who have affiliated themselves with Nuwaubians, that if I name everything that he has done, this video could end up over an hour long. So I'll be as brief and informative as possible. I'll start the story on May 15th of 1999 when Sills did an interview for WMAZ Channel 13 Eyewitness News in relation to Nuwaubians. He stated, and I quote verbatim, "I have never gone on that property when I did not go there pursuant to a court order, other than a few times we had calls there." This is just one of the many examples of Sheriff Howard Richard Sills knowingly and willfully lying. If you pay careful enough attention to the choice of words he uses, he contradicts himself in this statement that he made. To a thinking person such as myself, the phrase, "I have never gone on that property when I did not go there pursuant to a court order, other than a few times we had called there," implies that he would only go on the land if a judge ordered him to. However, in this same sentence, he seems to try to fool the reporter with the use of words "other than." Now, all of this in-between stuff doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. You either went to the land or you didn't, which could lead one to think that in an effort to try to over-establish innocence from any shady doings, he actually insults the intelligence of whoever may be viewing the report by adding double negatives in his wordplay, thinking no one will figure him out. Someone who has made lying a part of their life strives to say anything to anybody to get away with whatever it is they are doing, in the hopes that no one will analyze what they're saying. Sills further proves the untruthfulness of his statement of not going on the land without a court order by further harassing Nuwaubians in these following events that took place. 1. He went to the 404 Shady Dale Road property on March 9th of 1998, inquiring about alcohol sales, in which his only justification for doing so was because he heard it from a Mr. Doug Richards on Fox 5 News in Atlanta during an evening broadcast. This was not in response to a court order, nor was it in response to any calls made to him or his police department. He went back to the property again on March 17th of 1998 to issue 4 citations to a Mr. Victor Gregg without due notice. This again is not in response to a court order or a call made to him or his department. He also furthers his harassment the very next day by calling in state fire officials, District Supervisor for the State Fire Marshal Officer John Yearwood, and Fire Safety Compliance Officer Lewis Brown to inspect Ramesses Social Club that was built on the land. And all of this is, you guessed it, not in line with a court order or calls made to his department. If this is not harassment and a personal vendetta against the Nuwaubian community, then I don't know what is. And if you still want to be skeptical, just ask Wesley Snipes about his dealings with Sills. But that's another time in another video. Like I have stated before, I could go on with more examples of Sills' mischievous behavior, but this video will run on longer than I want to make. But at this point, it has to be clear of the level of harassment that this supposedly unbiased and unprejudiced cop has had against the Nuwaubians. Allow me to paint a picture of the dream that the Nuwaubian community were on the verge of realizing, and the nightmare that was starting to come to fruition for Sheriff Sills. Let's say influential people such as Stevie Wonder, as a Nuwaubian, brought money and notoriety to Putnam County, Georgia. Why stop there? Jimmy Cliff brings his money to Georgia, Denzel Washington, Erykah Badu, Jermaine Dupri, etc. Black hotels and black resorts will start being built. Tiger Woods will come and play on a black golf course. Businesses run by blacks will be built, thereby creating jobs, better health care for blacks in that community, suitable housing for blacks in that community of Putnam County. The building of new churches and temples that would attract people of all races, genders, colors, creeds, and walks of life from all over the world, like they saw starting to take place during the Zed Festival gatherings held every year on Tama-Re. All of these things would terrorize a white racist man down to the core of his very being, because these wouldn't be ordinary black folk moving in. No, they would be movie stars, producers, movie producers, recording artists, comedians, doctors, scientists, judges, lawyers, FBI agents, correctional officers, policemen, sheriffs, firemen, principals, teachers, magicians, clowns, and even the average everyday African American. In effect, they fear those niggas from the north that we used to own will move down with wealth and intelligence to help uplift their people, take over it, and shut us out, and completely destroy our perfect white-owned southern order that we work so hard to build. However, as it was written, the first will be the last, and the last will be the first. The meek shall and will dumbfound the wise, and the mentally binding society that the American government worked so hard to enslave us with will come crashing down to make way for the new world order, truly run and governed by people who have taken control back over their lives and said, no, we won't tolerate being lied to. No, we won't be silent. No, we won't stand idly by anymore. And we are reclaiming our souls and our humanity and taking your whitewashed images of beauty and replacing it with truly beautiful and strong images of all dark-skinned women and men all over the world, and there is nothing you can do to stop this. So I say this to you, Sheriff Sills, Francis Ford, Bush, Cheney, McCain, and everybody else in the Good Old Boy Network. Your time is at an end, and you all will pay for your evil deeds and crimes, and pay the entire world what you owe. That's all I have to say for this video. Hatep Wa Shak. Peace and love.